All right, what's up guys? Hope all is well. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video, we're gonna be going over 3 tips that you need if you're struggling to grow your chest. So the first tip, we're gonna get straight into it. So the first tip, a lot of times people have a chest day and they're doing some sort of bro split, right? So if you're training 5 times a week, they'll have a chest day, a back day, arm day, legs, and shoulders, right? So you're training chest at a 1 times a week frequency. So if that's your training split, you're hitting chest once a week. An easy fix that you can do is start training chest 2 times a week, right? So whether that's a push-pull legs training split, or you could do push-pull legs and then upper lower, but in your upper workout, have more chest exercises and more chest training. So when you up the frequency, what's gonna happen? Number 1, you're gonna develop a better mind-muscle connection with your chest, right? Number 2, you're gonna be training your chest more often, right? And you're gonna stimulate your chest a lot more and you're gonna recover a lot more. So this in itself will help you grow your chest. So in a year, if you train your chest once a week, that's only 52 times, right? But if you just double the frequency to 2 times a week, now it's up to 104 times. So obviously if you do something more often, you'll improve at that skill, because training your chest or training your arms, your legs is a skill at the end of the day, and you have to improve your mind-muscle connection, right? So bumping it up to 52 times a week to 104 times a year, not a week, is gonna help you get a lot better results, right? So that's gonna be the first thing that you wanna do, is increasing your overall frequency from 1 to 2 times a week. We're gonna go on to the second tip. We're gonna be talking about some of the movements that we wanna be using and how to do these movements. The second tip is gonna be understanding how your chest actually works, right? And picking movements that are gonna help you with that. So when we look at your chest, right? The way you contract your chest is when your arm comes across, right? Your rib cage or your chest. So if my hand comes across here, there's no tension in my chest, right? But if my bicep and my elbow smash into my chest, this is gonna give me a contraction. So what does that mean, right? Instead of doing movements where we're pressing straight like this, the bicep's not going into the pec, the elbow's not coming across, right? We wanna do movements where we're converging, right? We're kind of making a triangle shape, right? So if you do an incline dumbbell press in your workout program, which you should be doing because I think it's one of the best movements you can do for your upper chest, instead of pressing straight up, right? A lot of people just press straight up like this, right? Which is not bad. You will stimulate a little bit of growth. What you want to do is you want to press up and in, right? Going in that triangle motion, because this is going to force your elbows to come together and have your bicep go into your pec, right? So having a little bit of converging to your movements. So that's going to be a really solid movement for free weights. Obviously, you know, your gym is going to have some free weights and it's also going to have some machines as well. So my favorite free weight exercise for the upper chest. But if you have a machine, if you're lucky enough to have this incline hammer strength press, this is a really solid movement. So when we look at this movement as well, right, it is converging, right? So over here, when I sit down, my hands are starting here, but when I come up, right, my elbows are coming closer, right? So you can see my elbow path. Look how wide my elbows are here compared to here, right? So the path of this machine is from here to here, right? So pick movements, right? Pick machines where your elbow is being forced to come across, and that'll help you get a better contraction in your chest and you'll stimulate a lot more growth, right? So that's gonna be the second tip. We're gonna move on to the third tip. The third tip is gonna be starting off with cable flies. So a lot of the times when people do chest workouts or push workouts, what do you commonly see, right? If you go to the gym at 5 p.m., you'll see a bunch of 15, 16-year-old kids starting off with a bench press, doing a 1 rep max, right? What happens is, if you're struggling to grow your chest and you don't have a good mind-muscle connection, if you're just doing the bench press, right, like I mentioned downstairs in the second tip, that's not really a converging exercise. So your mind-muscle connection is already gonna be weak. What's the point of doing a movement if you can't really feel it in the right spot and you're just going through the range of motion? So for me, I never felt my chest. From 2015 all the way up to 2020, I didn't feel anything in my chest, and my chest was barely growing until I started to implement cable flies for my first exercise. So when you do your cable flies, an isolation movement before your compound lifts or your bench press or your incline dumbbell, what's gonna happen is, number 1, it's gonna pump up your chest, right? Number 2, it's gonna improve your mind-muscle connection. You're actually gonna feel your chest. That way, when you start doing these dumbbell presses or these pressing movements, you actually know like, oh, okay, I'm gonna focus on my chest, right? So I always start off with cable flies. I do 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. I'm not focused on getting super strong and doing the entire stack. I'm focused on pumping blood into the muscle, and more importantly, just feeling the muscle, just contracting the muscle. And then over time, the last 4 years from 2020 to 2024, right, my mind-muscle connection has significantly improved. In terms of how to do the cable fly, we're gonna go over a couple common mistakes a lot of people do, right? So number 1, you wanna have this about shoulder height. I always like to start off here. Don't have it too high where you're pressing downwards. For here, right, make sure you have a staggered stance. So 1 foot in front of the other, and then have your chest nice and up, have your chest nice and proud. And then the third thing, the most important thing is, don't think about bringing your hands together, right? This is not gonna contract your chest. Like we talked about in the second tip, you need to bring your elbow across your chest, right? Or into your chest, right? So think about bringing your elbows together, have a good hard contraction, elbows back, elbows together, right? So really focus on bringing the elbow across and having that bicep go into the pec, right? If you do these 3 tips, your chest will grow. You'll see a lot more progress. And also, if you're struggling to lose body fat, build muscle, or whatever your goal is and you want some help, click the link in the description. That's my application for one-on-one coaching. Fill that out. I'll reach out to you and see if I can help you. But all in all, I appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you guys got some value from this. Thanks.